But that was that moment.
If we could pivot a little bit to gun violence and policing. Commissioner Hardesty, who do you think bears the responsibility for the increased gun violence in the city? Do you think city council leaders have any responsibility in that?
I think that there are, I don't know that you can point to any individuals who are responsible. I think the responsibility is the economic collapse that so many people experience. And what we know in the history of this country, and economic uncertainty, violence goes up. And it's never had anything to do with how many police officers you have or how many specialty units that you have. So what I know is that in times of economic distress, when violence goes up, we traditionally as a society have a knee-jerk reaction of we need more police. But what we know is police don't provide housing, they don't provide mental health services, they don't provide alcohol and drug treatment.
Do they help get guns off the street though?
I hope so. But as of yet, even with the new fit, I have not received any information, which is why I finally actually appointed 3 people to that committee, because I have seen nothing in writing about whether or not having this team has had any impact on gun violence. So
you don't think there's any correlation between number of police and amount of gun violence in the city?
No.
Then why do you think, so what would happen if we had 0 police? Do you think gun violence would stay as it is right now?
Well, let me just say, I don't imagine a society in my lifetime that would have no police. Police have a role, and police role is actually to solve crime.
Right, but specific to gun violence, if we had 5 police officers today, do you think we would see gun violence go up?
I can't answer that. Well, I don't know. Does that mean we would have nobody else would have guns, and we just have 5 officers with guns? I mean, I can't answer that.
Well, I can answer that. The crime would go up. I mean, you welcome chaos, you welcome vigilantes, you welcome retaliatory crimes if we do not have a police force in an urban setting. And so less police officers makes the city less safe.
I don't think that's true, and I can tell you why. What we know is that community safety is much broader than just police officers. A great example was the success we had in Mount Scott, Arleta. Community members said people were driving through after gun violence was taking place. They were zooming through their neighborhood. They felt unsafe. Working with that neighborhood, we now have a beautiful community space that is owned by the community, that will be maintained by the community. That is huge.
Didn't that pilot also include increased police patrolling?
No.
It had something to do with law. I mean, there was...
And so when we did the pilot, we've now concluded, right? We've now changed the intersection. We've increased the lighting at the convenience store. We've cut off a driveway that people were using at the church that would allow people to get out of the neighborhood early. So we made the infrastructure improvements that now allow for people to move through the neighborhood in a much safer way.
So increased patrolling had nothing to do with that?
In the beginning, we increased park patrols, we increased police patrols, we increased other community resources in that neighborhood. I'm not saying that the police, again, have a role. If there's gunshots, I expect the police to show up and try to identify who did the shooting, right? But what I'm saying is right now, today, that community they never said they needed more police. And today, they will tell you they don't need more police.